I think it's fair to say I'm a moderately sized YouTuber. Horror narrations, mostly. But I dabble in true crime and let's not meet stories from time to time, too. Narrators are strange creatures. We infuse ourselves with the darkest aspects of the internet's imagination. We try to get in the heads of monsters and murderous stalkers, only to turn around and be one of the most supportive online communities ever. You can't throw a severed head around here without hitting one of the kindest people you'll ever meet. It's not to say there isn't competition. There are folks sporting cement shoes down in the Hudson, less saturated than the YouTube horror scene. Barely perceivable differences in audio quality make or break your channel. With that in mind, I decided it was time to upgrade. I bought a sweet new mic. Simply selling my old AT2020 felt a bit underwhelming, and after everything the old mic and I had been through,
Can you
it
hear
needed a
me?
proper send-off. I figured I'd have some fun with it and do a giveaway. I announced the contest rules after a video and told listeners to leave a comment with a certain reference. Using an online D82, I rolled for a random winner. The person who messaged me back was over the moon about winning. They were super nice, gave me their mailing information, and I sent my beloved mic off to a good home. The winner remarked it was generous of me to throw in the interface and was more than happy to buy the XLT cable on their own. The wind came out of my sails when my new S214 arrived, but wouldn't connect. No matter what I did, it wasn't getting power. I called it in, and they deemed it a factory defect. The waiting game began anew as I had to mail in the broken mic. With no way to make content, the steady stream of views I usually enjoyed slowed to a trickle. I could feel the algorithm's favor slipping away with each day. That's why, when the new mic I gave away reappeared on my porch, I couldn't believe my luck. They hid it underneath my regular sock delivery, in exactly the same condition as when I gave it away. With the prodigal mic returned, I set to chipping away at the backlog of stories. Everything was the same except for this strange hum which spoiled a couple of takes. I took off my headset each time to listen, worried there was a breach in my precious sound booth. Nothing. The booth was as tranquil as it always was. Weird noises notwithstanding, I finished recording and started the most exciting part. Editing. The takes ruined by that hum sounded clean, yet others had bizarre artifacts. After each phase of refining the audio, whatever glitch my mic was experiencing would worsen, and frustratingly, move to portions I was sure were perfect. After running noise reduction, bursts of sound, almost syllables, could be heard woven into my script. I repeated the section, hoping that if I heard it enough, I could figure out what it was. If one hears or says the same sound over and over, it loses meaning, and eventually is lost to ear fatigue. But I could still see the aberrations in the waveform. So I tried to fade them out. Nothing worked completely, and I gave in and just threw one story up on the tubes. I had to get something out after all. It's not healthy to constantly monitor your stats. I resist checking for at least a couple of hours after an upload. The bottom dropped out of my stomach when I opened the dashboard to find my subscriber count decimated. I thought surely I had logged into the wrong account. It was more likely a glitch in the app than my losing a massive number of subscribers. Audience interactions skyrocketed. That is to say, dislikes and negative comments poured in. People ranged from uneasy to outright distraught. I'll copy-paste a bit of what they said. Good narration as always, but it's kind of distracting having that other voice talking at the same time. How did you get my mother's voice to say those awful things? She passed away 5 years ago. You're sick. Whoa, creepy. It really sounds like that guy's getting closer to me. I don't know how you know my kid's name, but that is way over the line. Unsubscribed. The common theme among my myriad of comments seemed to be the hearing of loved ones, or a strange man's voice saying messed up things. They claimed to hear it in the background, underneath the actual audio. A narrator friend DM'd me on Twitter and asked who I got to voice the guy in the background. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about. Skipping through the problem video, I only heard those bursts from before. I switched the video to private, trying to think of how to go about damage control. Many other narrators and listeners swamped my socials with questions concerning disturbing things they heard. I think I fell asleep fielding an endless stream of questions. All I could do was put my head down and get on to the next story. After work the following day, I forged ahead by painstakingly destroying every audio aberration I could find. I didn't care. I left inelegant cuts in words, preferring pops and crude skips to the phenomena sabotaging my channel. It took far longer than usual, but I winnowed out every one of those awful sounds. I threw together a thumbnail and uploaded the story. The usual first and second comments came in, as well as the obligatory blanket excitement statements. I kept refreshing the dashboard, willing the comments to stay positive. In a few seconds, dislikes shot past likes, and someone commented, WTF. In a fury, I bounded upstairs to watch it on my smart TV. No login there. I would get the same experience as anyone else stumbling across my video. I heard it around a minute into the story. My voice competed with another's. I rewound with the cumbersome TV remote, and sure enough, the man's voice played every time, like I baked it in. There was no way I could have missed something so glaring in the editing. Just like most people who message me, I heard him speak 4 times throughout the story. He said,
"Can you hear me? I can see you. Can you see me? I am so close to you."
I tried to message that narrator friend but got no response. In fact, everyone who messaged about hearing the man just dropped off the face of the earth. What has me in a blind panic is their accounts went inactive at the same time. Not one of them has done anything since midnight this morning. No new posts, comments, or likes from anyone who mentioned hearing the man. I destroyed that mic and burned what was left in the backyard. I'm watching it smolder, letting the minutes slip by. Even outside, I feel the air closing in around me, and an inescapable sense of something closing in.